Hey guys, how are you doing this Monday? You guys
Good.
should
All right.
come in.
Becky, is it warm up there?
Oh, yeah. It's not too bad actually. The storm that everybody else is getting, we got a few weeks ago. So it's
Oh,
pretty
should have
decent.
kept it.
Yeah. Yeah, we said no, go south. The rest of the country, not us. Okay, cool. How are things going, Steve?
They're going good. I'm going to need you this week. I hope you got some time. My other property should be pictures back tomorrow for what was left to be finished. So
Perfect. Perfect.
yesterday
Perfect.
or no, Friday, I went to Florida to look at a property and it was 85 degrees there and I left it was 25 below. So
Perfect. Okay, so if when you get your next property, if they're done designing it, they're probably going to send you my call link again. We can get on a call if you want, but if not, I can just send you the form over or have them send you the form since we've already done a call. Or I'll send it to you after this. I'll just send
yeah,
it to you after this. That way you could just fill it out. And so we already talked, we don't need to do it again. Uh,
yes.
and then I'll just be able to get started. Okay, I'm gonna write that down so I don't forget.
Yeah, I think they sent me a form probably almost a month ago and then I didn't like the way it looked and they had to finish the garage on it. So
Okay.
I don't know
Okay.
why they didn't do it to begin with, but they decided it didn't have to be, and I left them to make the decision, and that was my mistake. So should have been done.
Yeah.
Garages put a lot of things in for kids to do, and it's
Yeah.
like you're paying for the space. Was foolish not to use it, but that's right. I learned. It won't happen again.
Yep. 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 Okay, cool. Well, I'm excited to see it. I'm excited to see the pictures. So I'm sure it looks amazing. Is this also in Arvada area?
Yeah, it's not as amazing as the first one though. I'm a little disappointed. It ain't quite as. I mean, the other one and the first one is really nice. So
Yeah. Well, I'm sure it'll do awesome.
different theme. So maybe it'll be a look good for other people. Maybe I don't
Yeah.
like.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not always
I
a
don't count because I'd go for the cheapest place there is. And
same. Same. I'm the same way. I just want like a cheap place to sleep. I don't care what it looks like.
except when I went to Florida, I stayed in a cheap place. My God, it was like almost cockroaches in there. The thing was terrible.
Oh my gosh.
No hot water.
Yeah.
Hallways are getting all redone or whatever. Looked, it was terrible. God, it was terrible.
So not that cheap.
It was pretty, no, it was cheap, all right.
Yeah. I mean, next time, don't go so cheap.
No, I'd still probably go so cheap. Next time I'll just stay in the car.
Even cheaper. That's funny. Okay. Okay, so things are going good with your property. No questions.
That one's going, that's going all right. Just a way to fill up weekends, and why I don't get anything from Verbal or anywhere else. I don't get that. There's no other places, even no inquiries. So not
Yeah.
quite sure why.
Yeah, it's really, I think Verbo is really based on location. Like out of my properties that I manage, the only places that I really get traction on Verbo, Booking.com, mostly Verbo are going to be like my Florida properties, Raleigh, a lot of my like East Coast properties. Those are where I mostly see it. I don't get as much.
Yeah, Emily was getting more out of Verbal maybe this last month or so. She was saying that
Okay.
she changed some things and got some more out of it. But then, she said the commission isn't as high. But they only charge us 8%, but they could charge the guest up to 20%
Yeah.
Verbal. You don't know what they're going to charge. Up
Yep.
to 20% they could charge. So that's way more than
That's
than
yeah.
Airbnb would be.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, people are definitely incentivized to go towards Airbnb all the way around.
I mean, I like it. I don't know if you heard it one time. I had a big claim. People just destroyed my place, like the fifth one in or so.
Yeah.
And it was good working with Airbnb. It was really good to make it happen. The guests paid in 10 minutes after I billed them like $900. You
Good.
know,
Good. They took
it was
responsibility.
it was good. I mean, I didn't like to see my place get flooded on 2 floors and made you sick.
Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely a pretty bad one for your first couple of guests. I would say that the problems tend to happen more in the beginning than once you're more established, as well as at the end of the day, it is hospitality. So we're gonna have problems every once in a while. I
Oh
would say
yeah.
one in every 20 guests, I get a problem. That's for
Yeah, and
sure.
then I had some that busted. They broke up the beds. They says no, they weren't jumping on them. The kids weren't, and I just left it be. I took
Yeah.
the beds and fixed them, and don't even worry about it because a few $100 ain't worth the headache to try to collect it. So
Yeah.
just part of business.
Yeah, it is. It's part of the business. Okay, cool. Well, I'm glad to hear it's going good right now, especially in one of your slowest months of the year. So,
Yeah, it was good. It was decent. It paid bills and actually could have made a little bit of money if my cleaner's price wasn't adjusted quite properly, but I adjusted all them numbers now. So
good.
I got a lot of bookings that are not going to make so much money on, but they're out in the future. So the price was higher anyways then. So,
Yeah.
but it's all
Okay.
right.
Yeah. Okay, okay. So for everyone else that isn't normally here on the calls, we've been doing a lot of Q&A lately. So if you have calls, want to work on your want to work on your pricing or anything like that, please let me know or ask in the chat. Either way. Who wants to go first?
Um, Becky, it's Hope here. I was gonna ask you about cleaning fee. What
Okay.
do you think would be the best average cleaning fee for like a 7 bedroom? Because right now I realize that my cleaning lady is charging 280
Yep.
per cleaning. And so then if you have a booking where it's like only a 2-day booking, it's like you're splitting the money in the middle with the cleaning lady kind of thing. Is that normal for for everyone?
I would say, especially on a big property like that, 280 is not that bad. I would say
Okay.
it's very fair. I see a lot of like even up to like 350 for a large home like that. So I would say that's pretty fair. And a majority, when you have a large home like that, obviously a majority of your money is coming from your more premium, far in advance bookings from large
Mhm.
groups that are coming in. So if you're still able to get a few last minute bookings, for some, lower prices or shorter stays, that's okay. It's just extra money at that point.
Well, majority of my bookings, I know, I mean, I listed just, was it about January 9th or 10th? Majority of them have been last minute and they've been just the weekends where it's Friday, Saturday, checking out Sunday, Friday, Saturday for the whole month of January. So
Yeah.
kind of that's how it's happened. And then nothing during the week.
Are you
And
booking Airbnb and then you have to give a reduced price because of a short rent?
what's that?
On Airbnb, if it's a short stay, they want you to
Mhm.
discount your cleaning.
Oh, I I I don't know anything about that.
Well, that might be if you don't have that set properly, they could be cutting your cleaning price in half, and you have to make those numbers right for you. I mean, if you're paying 280, you should always get 280 out of it. So maybe you have to make it 275 or something. It's just supposed to be cheaper, according to Airbnb, that if it's a short-term booking, they want you to have a smaller amount in for cleaning.
Yeah, they do.
Oh, and I honestly, it's all Greek to me still. I'm trying to figure that part out.
Yeah.
And like, is it a setting that I have to go change on Airbnb or the Airbnb just
Is that
adjust?
Becky? Is that Airbnb or is it the hospitality that makes you change it? I think it's Airbnb requests you to change it.
It's
It's
an Airbnb.
Airbnb.
You don't have to use it, but they do have the option to where if you have short stays, 2 days or less, you can offer a lower cleaning fee. Um,
Oh, I thought it was automatic that I had to put it in there.
no, it's an
Oh,
option.
Okay. But then if you offer the lower cleaning fee, then it's just your cleaning person that gets less money.
well, yeah, you'll get less money if you pay your cleaner the same amount and you collect less.
Yeah, you end up getting less because the money's going directly to you and not your cleaner. Um, so a lot of the time, if people decide to use that option, you can do your short stay at your standard rate. So if your standard rate's 280, and then
Mhm.
you increase your other one a little bit higher. At the end of the day, nobody can see your rates, so your total price is all that matters. And when you get paid
Mhm.
out, it's all in one lump sum, so you can't really tell the difference there. Uh,
And on the Airbnb site, you must remember Airbnb's taking 15.5% as well out of that, whatever your cleaning rate is.
Yep, so our cleaning rates need to be increased as well. But
Yes.
again, At the end of the day, like none of it. You in theory, what you could do is you could put zero for cleaning fee and then just increase your nightly rate. Because now even Price Labs asks you, do you have a separate cleaning fee or are you including it in your nightly rate? Because it all shows up at the same at the end of the day in your account.
Okay.
So it's just more so to help you be able to separate that mentally, I suppose. But
One thing I might offer up. Hi, it's Grace. I haven't called in forever, but figured I'd call because I'm trying to win this challenge. But as far as cleaning is concerned, what I worked at, so I have two properties. I have one in Florida. I have one in Texas. I charge $250 a clean, and I have 5 bedroom houses. So maybe that gives you a little bit of insight. The lady before who was asking if her cleaning fee was reasonable. Interestingly enough, in Florida, even though it has a pool and everything, I actually only charge my cleaners once. They charge me, sorry, they charge me 160, but I
Mhm.
but I charge my guests 250. So I'm actually getting a profit. In Texas, my cleaner, I think it's like 243 after taxes. I'm not really making a profit on the 250 I charge the guests. But one thing I did work out with my cleaner in Texas that maybe you could ask your cleaners about is like we have like pretty severe slow periods in Texas because it's a college town. So like January, February is just dead. It's horrific. And so I was like, I told my cleaner, I was like, you know what, I might have to find another cleaning company because like, yeah, there's no business. And so what she worked out is if I have guests who don't use all of the rooms,
Mhm.
and I mean, it's completely with your cleaner. You'd have to talk to them directly. Not all cleaners will do this, but I think she gives me like a $15 discount per room that's not slept in. So
Okay.
he typically charges, I think it's 225 before tax. I think it's 243 after tax. But if like I have a 5 bedroom house, only one of the bedrooms is used, she'll actually give me a discount to clean because she's not, stripping all the beds and cleaning the rooms and all that stuff. So might be something to consider asking your cleaning company if you're trying to save costs in down
Yeah.
periods.
Yeah, because then when you do the math, you have the cleaning person, they're charging 280. They've taken one night of the stay if it was 2 nights. And then
Mm,
you factor in the pool guy because the pool guy comes as well.
yeah,
They're
it adds
taking
up.
they're taking another chunk. Then when you do
Yep.
the math, really, the two stay you ended up pocketing maybe $100 or 200 if that.
Right. Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. I mean, it adds up. So if there's ways to cut costs, you might be able to work with the cleaner to, if they don't clean everything, maybe you get a cheaper rate, perhaps.
Yeah.
yep,
And and
especially
then Becky,
with that's very beneficial.
yeah. And Becky, one other thing, just before I give someone the floor, my Verbo just dropped from the link. So like I have Hospitable communicating with booking.com and Airbnb, but it's not communicating with Verbo. And so then every time somebody books, I have to go in and block the Verbo calendar manually. I don't know if any one of you knows how to fix that or has gone through that. I've tried to troubleshoot it myself, but it says go in the setting, and whatever button they're saying is in the setting is actually not there.
Okay, can you screen share? Because it's disconnecting. Hospital does have an issue with disconnecting from Verbo quite often, and I know
Okay,
they have a new way of connecting, if you will, screen share.
okay,
I walk you
okay.
through.
And do you want my,
And hospital,
oh, bear with me, hospitable.
and then go to connected accounts,
Hmm,
and scroll down. Then we're going to reconnect.
let's move that to this.
Yep, setup guide.
Yeah, I wrote that, and then I couldn't get anywhere from there.
Yep, and then go download hospitable extension.
Here.
Nope, the
Oh,
no back. It's the purple button where it says download hospitable to Verbo connection extension here. Go up above the yellow part. Yep, click
oh,
that.
here.
Yep. And then, so you already have it. So now go to your extensions, which is going to be, I believe, right there where the puzzle is.
Mm-hmm.
And then pin the hospitable. Okay, and then click on hospitable on the pin, on the extension, I mean. Okay, and then go to Verbo account settings. Yep. Okay, now go back to that extension. And then connect to hospitable.
Oh.
Okay, now let's go back to hospitable and we'll refresh the page.
Mhm.
Okay, go to connected accounts. Scroll down. There you go. So that might happen every once in a while, it's just how it is with Verbo, unfortunately, through hospitable. But all you gotta do is reconnect. Most of the time they will reconnect it for you pretty quickly. If not, then yeah, just that little process there. And now you'll have the
Okay.
pin up here all the time, so you should just be able to connect through there.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. All right, cool. Does anybody else have questions?
I would love some help with pricing on my property. Hi, everyone. I'm Sahar. I have two properties. One is in Indianapolis and the other is in Raleigh. I know it's a slow season in Indianapolis, especially with the storm and everything, but for context, we're Superhost, guest favorite, rating is over 4.9, but our occupancy over the next 60 days is way below market. I can share my screen. It's
Yeah.
probably helpful. Okay. So as you can see here, we have 0% occupancy over the next 30 days, and then also well below market over the next 60 days. And so would love any tips on adjusting pricing and just anything you can help with.
Okay. Okay, so let's start. Where do you want to start? Let's just go look at some prices. So let's go for
Okay.
like this week, Monday through Wednesday. Let's go into Airbnb. Let's just go compare some prices. Yep, 26th through the 28th. Perfect. I don't care about guest count. Cool.
Should I filter it by rooms?
Yep, 4 bedroom, or you have 4 bedrooms, so let's do 3 bedrooms.
Okay.
You're going to be competing with smaller homes, smaller guest count, really. Okay, so you're down there at the 414, so can we
Yes.
put the proximity a little bit lower? Okay. Let's make yours like the middle of the map. Perfect. And do like one click out.
Oh.
A little bit more. I'm gonna get all the way up to like that highway line. Good. I keep it there. Is this going to look different for everybody and where your market is depending on your proximity? I know for this area specifically, there's a big difference between properties down here. And then as soon as you pass this highway line, there's a difference in properties right above it. That's because they're
Yeah.
close to downtown. Okay, so we're looking on the left side now. You have 414, we have 287. Scroll down. We have 394, 322. Go. Okay. That one's a 5 bedroom. So between the 3 and 4 bedrooms right now, we're sitting at the highest rate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 5 bedrooms start to go above that 400 line. Okay, so that leaves us, we're pretty high. What is your cleaning fee?
It's 120.
Okay. Okay. Let's keep going. Let's look a little bit farther out. So we know we're high last minute. So let's go and look at like a weekend next month. You already have your, what is this holiday? The 13th or the 16th, whatever that holiday weekend is. Is that already booked?
Nope. No bookings.
Okay, so let's do the 13th through 16th. Okay, so we have 813. Good. Let's go a little bit farther out on your proximity. That's good. Okay, so each of them, keep going. Okay, farther out, we can actually change this to 4 bedrooms now. Especially because this is a high demand weekend. Okay, you're a lot more competitive this weekend. That's good.
Yeah.
Okay, keep going a little bit. Okay, so you're definitely competitive this weekend. That's good. So this is why we look at multiple different date ranges, because if I went just based on one date, I'd be like, okay, clearly we're way too high. But now we know it might be just more last minute. So
Okay.
let's look at a few other farther out. Let's look at like March 23rd through the 26th. Oh, why the map
Should I go back to 3 bedrooms?
Nope, this is far enough out that it's okay.
Okay.
Okay, so 902, 690, 65. So we have a lot of 600 range, 4 bedrooms. Okay, so we're a bit higher in this area.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's look at some more.
Should I go to the next page or change dates?
Change shades is what I meant. Let's go into April 9th through the 12th. Just 1,000. Okay, so your prices aren't bad here, they're just slightly high. Not too bad. Okay, so let's go. Okay, Lisa mentioned rank race, which is not part of her question, but it just reminded me, like, how have your views been lately? How have your reviews been? Views and reviews. You had any?
Reviews have been good. We haven't gotten any negative reviews, I think, recently, and then we can check the views.
Okay, go to conversion. Similar listings. Okay, so we did have a big dip at the end of December. Is there a reason for that? Do you know?
Not sure. We had a lot of cancellations come in on both our properties in December, actually.
Yeah, I did too on mine. Okay, let's go back up to booking conversion. Okay, looks like you're getting a lot of good first page impressions, which is great. Typically, from what I've learned, 40 to 60% is ideal. Search listing conversion is also about 40 to 60%. So this is like, it's under that, but it's still not terrible. This is typically like, okay, search to listing. When you think about what's on the search, the main things you're going to see when you're searching multiple properties as a traveler, you're seeing cover photo, title, price, right? Those are the three things. So it's gonna be one
Yeah.
of those things that can help increase conversion. Have you played around with changing your cover photo lately?
Yep. Just changed. We change it almost every 2 weeks or every week.
Okay. And then your booking conversion. So once they're at your listing, they're converting over well. 3%. Normally it's like 1 to 3% is what they say is like a good booking listing to booking conversion.
Okay.
Okay, good. Okay, let's go look at your listing real quick. We do see that pricing we're a little bit high in some areas, but just for now, let's take a look. Still have, yeah, great reviews. Okay, cool. And if we go through your pictures real quick.
Yeah.
So I don't have like data on this, but when I see a property with a bedroom, I always assume it's a rent by the room kind of home.
Okay.
Reason. Granted, people are using filters on this, so this shouldn't be that, but that is what
I
I
changed our cover picture to a bedroom just to experiment this week. Previously, it's been our living room, or well, it was our outside area in the summer, and now it's been our living room.
yeah.
Was just trying to think of what people might be looking for in the cold, and figured cozy bed might be it.
I definitely like that idea. I also love your dining room photo. It's a very nice photo. It really stands out. I like that it's like colorful. Yeah, I like this one a lot. It looks very,
Okay.
I would try
I'll
that one
ex
as well. I feel like it has more color than the bedroom does, but bedroom is pretty white.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would try that on your next trial there.
Okay.
Okay, cool. So let's go back to Price Labs. Mm.
Do you want to see next one?
No, we know that we were a bit low last minute. In this area, back when you used to see a lot of, used to be able to see nightly rates, last minute in this area was very much normal to be around that like 95, 100, 105 range. What would it be if you brought your minimum? Okay, let me back up. Have you had much trouble with guests last minute? Last minute guests?
Trouble as in they book last minute?
No, like trouble as in like they've caused problems.
No. No,
Trouble.
not really.
So let's, if you're not having trouble with guests at this price, then let's bring the price down a little bit.
Okay.
They'd be a
Do you want
little
me to change the minimum?
you were at what was it 414 for last minutes, so if we can get it under and sitting in that like high 300 range, if we brought it down we'd need to bring it down $20 a night, so it'd be like $100. Yeah, let's bring it to like minimum to 100 and see what it does based on the discount you already have. Okay, so let's let that can we sync that, then we'll see what the total price is in a little bit here, and
Okay.
then if you don't, how has your summer's been going?
Summer, we went live last May and our summer was fantastic. We were almost fully booked out all the way to September. And
Okay.
that's after that it started dropping.
Okay, so because it is a slow season, if you don't want to lower your base price to compensate for those like few weeks that we did look at where you were a bit high, because obviously as we got closer to summer and we're looking at March and stuff, pricing was
Yeah.
better. So what I've been doing, if you just go into February, March time and just do manual discounts. So like let's say if we saw this weekend was pretty good, that was already good. I would keep going and looking at weekdays and weekends for your like just green weekends.
Okay.
While they're looking, if you're high on those, I would do manual discounts. Just I would look at the next few months and do that. That way you're not affecting your summer rates
Okay.
if we know that those are good.
And sorry, manual discounts is by clicking on those dates and just putting that in.
Correct. Yep. Just
Okay.
like you did
I'll try
discount.
one.
Yeah. Yeah.
And would you recommend doing it per day or for the weekend?
I just do groups. I either do like weekdays and then I do weekend discounts.
Okay.
And then can we go check on something real quick? Can we go to
Yes.
edit? I just want to see. I know they added this, I think. Go to all customizations. Okay, never mind. They need to add more columns for last minute options
Yeah.
here. Because I would love to put one from like 10 to, 35 nights that has a little bit more of a heavy discount. We can go into occupancy-based adjustments, be a little bit more aggressive on that one, because these are pretty light. It'll only reach out to 60 days. What is that? If you change it to, what is the last
Aggressive.
um step last minute discount? What does aggressive look like? Oh yeah, good idea. That didn't really change much.
Yeah.
Okay, what's
Looks
aggressive?
pretty aggressive.
Okay, that brought it down a little bit, at least on the weekends.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, what I would do so that you understand kind of what you're doing, I would do what we just talked about, going and looking a few months ahead, determining how much of a discount you need to put out, and then you can create a custom occupancy-based adjustment if you start to notice that's like a regular occurrence. If you're like, okay, I
Okay.
know that now in the next 90 days, I almost always have to put, a 20% discount and then 35 last minute. And then if it's a consistent thing, you can create an occupancy-based adjustment
Okay.
with
Got it.
annual rules. Yeah,
Gotcha.
so, of
Okay. Super helpful. I will try these out. Thank you.
course.
Becky, where did you go at and when you were at the Airbnb site and you seen you had more information than what I see for people cancellations and
Under insights,
under insights? Where's that at?
if you're on the hosting side on the top right corner next to your profile picture, it'll have the three lines.
Yeah.
And then you click that, and then it has earnings and then insights. You see the insights
Oh
option?
yeah. Okay. Insights. Okay.
Yep. And then
Okay.
majority of the time, I'm going to go, the only thing you're really going to use is conversion. It's the only part that I really use. And I either use booking conversion and then views. I just like to see how many views I'm getting in. I don't particularly care about the number of views you're getting. It's just that we're higher than the rest of similar listings. That's what I'm looking at. Okay, how are others doing?
I have a
Nathan,
I have a
Scott.
question, Becky, if that's okay.
Yes, of course.
It's been a while. So, back into the swing of things. Things are going well. I guess I have a question too, if this would help, because I heard it somewhere else. But obviously, we have a lot of five-star reviews, which is great. We're super host, all that stuff. Do you recommend like taking snippets of those reviews and then putting them into like the I don't know if you put it in the description of the place, like so people could see that. So I thought we've had some people say really awesome things, and it's just like unless you're going down on the reviews to find all of those, you might miss it. It would be cool to. It was a cool idea. I don't know if it's effective or helpful.
Yeah, I have seen people do that. I have not seen it. There's no like data behind it, so it's
Sure.
hard for me to say because I have not noticed it make enough of a difference to really stand out to me. I also, for myself as a traveler, I think, when you go and look at a listing, the first thing you see is like the cover photo, and then below it is the reviews. So if I'm looking for something like how is this property doing, I'm immediately going to reviews, and I already know that. I wouldn't
Sure.
about going through the photos, or a lot of people don't make it all the way that far into the description. If you can somehow put it at like the very top, like this person said, Becky said this is an amazing place, blah blah blah. Then yeah, if you can get it, you know how when you look at your listing on the browser, it has like a very short option for your description, then you have to do like view more. or see more. If
Yeah.
you could be viewable on that very top part, then it might be worth it. I'm not, yeah, but I haven't
Okay.
seen enough to know that it's like worth it. But you can
Okay.
add that and then obviously make one change at a time and then just track your views. Or if you have rank breeze, great. If you don't, then track your views, see over a few weeks, see if it makes a difference on your
Uh,
conversions.
okay. And then for the views, I was trying to pull it up and follow along. I had some of the same questions as Steve. I don't think I've ever looked at the um the analytics side of things and seeing how many views I have. So um I'm there for the first time. How do I want to see this says over time comparing?
You want to do similar listings? Can you use screen share?
Sure. Do. Let me figure out how to do this. Give me a second. I don't work with Zoom a lot. Share. All right. Do this screen. Maybe. Share. Okay.
Perfect.
Cool. All right, let me pull it up here.
Perfect. Okay, so you're under views, you got your listings, and then change it from over time to similar listings. Okay, so you've had great views recently. You got a recent increase in views for whatever reason, whether that's because you changed something recently, changed your listing, you changed your pricing, or because you just have more availability. Because I don't know what market you're in. What market you in again?
We're in Houston.
Okay. So were you busy for December? Did you have
December was our best month
okay,
ever.
okay. So that makes
Um,
reviews would have been low in December, right? Because you just had no availability. And now all of a sudden people are starting to check, for January, February, March, and you're getting an increase.
right.
Yeah.
Okay. And like and this is one where it's like my weekends. I'm like booked out almost like 2, 3 months on my weekends, which probably means I have to raise my prices on the weekends, but I'm still struggling a little bit to get bookings during the week. This, like I said, December for whatever reason I thought was going to be slow. I might have had one day that was vacant.
Okay. So you're going into your high season. You have it booked, your weekends booked February, March, into April. And are they 2 days, 3 day weekends?
2 to 3 typically.
Okay. And then how do you have it set to where like let me see how I ask this. When people are booking farther in advance, so they're also okay, never mind. Back up. They're booking 2 and 3 days even further in advance. Houston is typically a pretty last minute market, so that does tell me you probably could increase your price a bit. And then on your weekdays, Houston does have a lot of business in the area.
Sure.
You added like length of stay discounts for those weekdays. It doesn't matter if it's 1 week in advance or 6 months in advance. Like if you don't have the weekends available, I would definitely do a length of stay discount between all of those booked weekends to try to entice those like business people coming to town to stay.
Okay. And the best way to do that is with the length of stay discounts, you think?
Yep, yep, an Airbnb. Definitely.
Okay.
I like those the best because if you do promotions, as much as I love promotions and what they put out, it doesn't allow you to change the minimum stay. So you're pretty much adding a drastic discount for like potentially 1 or 2 nights when length of stay allows you to have a higher rate for a 1 night stay and then decreases the longer people stay. So
Okay.
decreasing the risk of like a bad guest. And it also gives you the option to offer 1 night stays if you wanted to. So you could like do extra work and you can go into, price labs and you can make for those that don't have weekends available, you could override it to allow 1 nighters on those weekdays and then do length of stay like raise the 1 night stay rate a little bit and then
Okay.
length of stay discount where if they stay longer they get a little heavier of a discount.
Okay.
At least then you're visible to even 1 night stays because you can even get if you have weekdays booked or weekends booked for an entire month. I mean, gosh, if you can get 5 1 night stays, that make a difference.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah, because I'm looking at my calendar, sorry, on my phone. And yeah, I'm essentially booked up. There's a weekend that's available in March, which I know will get booked up within the next couple weeks. But they're typically Friday to Monday morning stays type stuff. So it's those parts in between that I'm working on trying to get filled.
Yeah, of course. So keep in mind those are more than likely to be more last minute bookings because people make last minute business travel and stuff.
Sure.
So it's going to be a lot more local people, local as in local within Texas. My San Antonio properties get a lot of local travel to them. Um, so I would put those discounts out now further in advance, but just expecting that most of them are going to get booked within probably 30 days.
So I have another question with that then too. So, and I've noticed that too. There's a lot of people that have been our guests, like from Texas. A lot of people have flown in, but still a lot of people driving in or whatever. Um, do you like do any kind of advertisements on Facebook groups or something like that for, maybe an area that's close to you? You said you're in San Antonio, so if you do like Austin or anything like that.
I don't. No.
Okay. So you do everything with price and then okay,
Price.
let that drive it.
Yeah. To me, the best advertising for, I guess, efficiency in my mind is like as long as I can keep my properties high on the algorithm, then Airbnb, I want them to do the advertising for me.
Fair,
That's how I see it.
fair.
Now,
Yeah,
if you have Facebook groups that are more business oriented and looking for weekdays, which I don't know if that's a thing, but then of course,
yeah. Because I think that's who I'm probably trying to market to is the business, because Houston is a center for that. So how do it's one thing I can play with price, but how do I make it more visible to them where it's like, hey, it may be like the same price or cheaper than staying in a hotel and it's a 3-bedroom house and all that kind of stuff. So,
yeah. I would say, I mean, a lot of business people I know are still booking through Airbnb.
okay,
Just so that's where I focus my time. Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
awesome. Thank you. That's helpful.
Yeah, of course. Okay, and then obviously if you get any business people and you communicate with them and they're coming back regularly, starting up that direct booking site and having them start book on there regularly.
Yeah, I need to do that. I think I paid for it on Hospitable to set it up, and I just haven't done it yet.
Yeah,
Is it pretty easy?
very. Very,
Okay.
you don't need, unless you're like really marketing it out there, you don't need to make it fancy. And so you could probably set it up in like 15 to 30 minutes and just enough to get somebody in there and booked.
Yeah. I have another last question. Do you use, and the only way that I can think to do this, unless there's another way, because I guess you could do a guest book, but I know a lot of people do the thing where to get onto the Wi-Fi, they have to put their email address in.
Hmm.
So, like that way, you're now getting them and you can market to them to
Yeah,
come to the direct next time.
that's a real finicky thing right now because Airbnb is, I think as of these last 6 months, have some new policies around that, like not
Okay.
forcing people to do that kind of stuff anymore. Um, I'd have to reread the policies to be sure on that. So I would read them before you do that.
So what's the best way then to be able to do that to get people to book on direct bookings? Because I can't reach out to them via Airbnb message because I get flagged and all that stuff. So,
Yeah, so the best way and the least risky way is to do it like in the property. It's having those little signs that have your QR code for your direct booking. It's having cards that they could take or I mean, there's little things that cost money, but like, people do like little keychains or coffee mugs. Having things in the property that'll market your direct booking for you.
brilliant. Okay. That's a good
Um,
idea.
yeah, like thank you cards, whatever it is, so they can come back, scan it, and they have it. And then other ways like to try to get them to book directly before they even book the first time. And this is still a questionable thing, just putting that QR code. What I see some people like property managers do is they'll do like a virtual tour of the property and they'll have a QR code for that. And then within that, they'll have their direct booking site. So
Ah, okay.
it isn't going to trigger it because it's just a virtual tour and you're already in their website now, kind of thing.
Does that get you high? I don't have a virtual tour right now. Is that like something that Airbnb looks for? They don't? Okay.
I've never heard of it. No.
Okay.
It's just nice because people, it keeps people from asking you like, I don't know, where I don't know, if there's a bedroom on the first floor because my grandma's staying, she can't walk up the stairs, how many bathrooms
Okay.
stairs, like it just helps them give whatever. In theory, you have more conversion just because it's more clarity for the guest.
Yeah. Well, we've been doing some math on how much Airbnb is making, and for each booking, it's insane. So, if you can save a guest those, like that's a huge dis. A lot of times it's like, hey, can you give us a discount if we stay 4 or 5 days? Well, it's like then you see what, they're paying, and it's just what our payout is, and it's like everything in between is Airbnb. And it's just like, wow, if I could just save you on those, I wouldn't have to discount my rates,
Yeah.
right?
Other
So,
suggestion you could do too is I don't know if your property has like a name or something, and maybe guest may see, oh, the Palms of Bradenton, and it's not a clear way for them to find it, but if they want to be a little bit of a detective, it's not, I don't think, flagging Airbnb, but if they Google it, or if guests are really smart, they could do like an image search. They could take one of the pictures and kind of
Yeah, branding.
yeah, for
direct
sure.
booking site, or if another picture comes up. So those are
Yeah.
some other alternative ideas without like getting it on Airbnb's like
And
naughty
that's
list.
Yeah, for sure. And like because my wife and I, that's where when we travel, we stay at Airbnbs, and that's exactly what we do is we'll take like the headline and paste it. I've never done the image search. I'm not that good yet, but again, they're relying on the end user to do that stuff. So, but first things first is I have to get the direct booking site up. So thank you for that, and I'll
Yep. Yeah, that was a
figure
good.
out how to drive people there.
Yeah. Cool.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you for that, Dana. I forget about I don't speak about branding enough. It is a big thing in Airbnb, and I don't talk about it enough. It's not my skill set. But Dana and Frankie have done really good at branding their properties and building social media around it as well.
Thanks. I'm no expert, but I try to dabble with it because I think guests are looking for more of an experience, and then it's just trusting you more as a host if there is, a brand and something behind it. So if you have,
I think it cut out there.
yeah, I don't, my phone has been in and out. I was just saying I'm no expert, but I think it's something valuable that guests are looking for an experience and like a name and a brand to trust. So I think it's been worthwhile having, and we've had, um, direct bookings from a guest referring a friend, which was a nice thing. And like, I think one of the biggest compliments you can get is having someone refer someone else. And we actually had them book direct on our direct booking website, which is nice.
That's great. And so I don't know if you could share some information with me, Dana, when you're talking about branding. The way that I'm envisioning it is my family and I, we go to like Gatlinburg a lot because we love it. And you'll often see like a pictures where it's like seven suns, are you talking about doing something like that, and you kind of like you have your own image to your brand, and then you've been creating social media around that?
Yeah, we have a property name. I mean, we didn't do anything fancy. People may hire someone to create a logo. We went into chat GPT, honestly, and we put in things that we, um, wanted to associate with the property. One of our property is an ice cream themed property that's called Sweet Memories, and then the other is the Palms of Bradenton. And we made two social media accounts with it. And just we put it in, I think I put somewhere in my caption or in my about me memory, so guests could maybe find it that way. But we have coffee mugs with the logo on it. We leave a postcard that has for the guests that are there, and like a little sticker. I forget what it says on the back of the postcard. I think it has like our QR code
All great
um,
ideas.
to our direct booking website. You could go to Vistaprint and buy a bunch of them, and we just have our cleaners leave out a little package each turn. So then it's I think we might leave two in there, one for the guest to keep, and then they're doing the advertising for you essentially. So I think that's a good thing. The other thing we've done, we have murals in the property, um, and encourage guests and leave signs within the property. We'd love to see you tag us on your, social media. So then if they're there, they're taking a picture with like the ice cream wall or something. It's being, they can tag it on social media and then we can use that to share.
Cool. Thank you. Those are great ideas.
Very good. Very good. Okay. Um, I'm gonna try to quickly answer Lisa's here, and then David, we'll look at your pricing real quick. Okay, so Lisa asked for AirDNA occupancy to check this. I'm on track. If I got a booking on 12/30 for check-in date 11 or 1/1, January 1st, would that be considered 0 to 6 days out? Not 30 plus. Yes, it's considered. If you got it just a day in advance or 2 days in advance, it is 0 to 6 days. AirDNA is considered, yeah, how far in advance? And then have you used RankBreeze services to get the most optimized CEO or SCO? I personally use RankBreeze mostly for like to see what page I'm on and to track adjustments that I make. I have looked at their optimization tools and I've taken some consideration over the years. But what I noticed, and I haven't used this in a while, so correct me if I'm wrong, but when I go to look at that, they give you the option to see who makes the most, who's got the highest nightly rate or the highest revenue, and then you can change it, like you could sort it through that, or you could sort it through occupancy, or you could sort it through any of those, and then it gives you kind of what their titles are and or descriptions or whatever. Um, I guess I didn't back then what my struggle was, and I haven't looked at this in forever, was that to me it wasn't calculating. It wasn't like when they would tell me their ADR and then look at occupancy, to me that didn't really mean a lot if I couldn't look at them at the same time. Like the person with the most ADR and the most occupancy and see what theirs were. And a lot of the time I remember it being like little things like family friendly or um something Oasis, things like that. I don't really know what I'm saying, but I mostly use it to see what page I'm on and to track stuff. I haven't messed with the SEO enough to notice a big difference yet. So if you test that out, let me know. Okay, and then David, do you want to look at your pricing real quick?
That would be great, yeah. Um,
Maybe we'll
any,
put it on one of these future calls. I'll bring up my rank brace and we can talk about the options that it has. Okay, David, if you could screen share Price Labs and Airbnb, please.
so I don't actually have price labs. We hired a company to help with our pricing for this month.
Okay.
We're going to see how it goes. So they control our price labs. I don't actually have direct access to do it myself at the moment.
Okay. So they
Uh,
just want to see how your pricing is right now?
So yeah, I just wanted to get an idea, and I want to talk to these people. I want to learn a little more about what I should be, what I should be telling them, or what I should be doing myself on Price Labs. So this is the calendar view. Gives you an idea of what we've got going on and what kind of prices we have. Of course, this is our peak time right now, next month or two. So this is kind of make or break for us. If we can't fill in a lot of these empty days, I don't know. It's not a good sign. So, but we've got quite a few weekends booked up. Um, I just feel like we need to get more of these weekdays booked, and I'm not sure that these guys that we hired are really focused on that much.
Well, let's look. So you're in, was this Mesa?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna look at lead time real quick. I'm sorry, I'm just looking over here on my
Do you
Airbnb.
want do you want me to stop sharing?
I'm just gonna look real quick here. No too much time. Okay, so what it's telling me here is my phone. So for February, you were looking at February. We're about right now, um, consider 45 days out, okay? When you're looking at this, because 30 days is the month itself. So, and we're like halfway through, a little bit more halfway through than of January. So right now, we have 29%, 12%, and so about 56. We are expecting for February about 83%. So let's say 88%. So if we're expecting, how many days are in, how many days in February?
Yeah.
20, obviously. Okay. There are people on my roof. Okay. 28 days, and we're looking at 88% occupancy, so that's 24 days, and then about 56 so far should be booked. So we're looking at about 13, 14 days booked for February. And what do you have right now? You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So you have 12 days. So you're doing pretty good so far. And yes, those are weekends, but that's very on track. As it is the high season that just happens. It looks like February, yeah, Wednesdays through Sundays are going to be the most popular days of the week. So then weekdays are going to have to be, again, it's kind of like we were talking about earlier with the Houston area. It's going to be more of like business people coming to the area or people coming to see family during the weekdays. But so far, your occupancy is on track for what it should be. Let's look at March. And then we'll come back and look at pricing to see if the pricing is kind of optimized. So March, okay, let me go back to see. Expected occupancy for March is about 90%. Oh my gosh. Hold on. How many bedrooms do you have?
It's 5 bedroom.
Okay,
In March.
8 for March, so about 90%, 89%. There's 31 days in March.
Yeah.
Okay. So again, about 24 days. March is heavily booked for an advance. So 34% alone. So we're looking at 24 days and 34% of that. So 8 days alone well in advance. Or 90 plus days in advance. And when did you go live? Was it August?
No, we only went live in December. So we've about a month live.
Okay. So majority of your far in advance bookings that are for like premium rates would have happened prior to December, like 34% of your bookings. So, okay. So now we're looking. So in reality, based on when you went live, it would be not surprising we only had about 30% right now, which is about 7 days. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 days. So again, you're right on track compared to when you went live and what you have now. Okay, so then let's go to switch to traveling and let's just go look at some of those weekdays and see if they're competitive. Because if I were managing your pricing right now and I was getting majority weekends booked, that's totally normal and not surprising, but I would have to make do a little bit extra to get the weekdays filled in. Um, let's go to the travel side. We can search where it says search anywhere. We'll search Mesa.
I've got a mid-March one in here that week is still available.
Okay, and then for guest count, can we reduce that? Reduce that down to 0. Okay, search. And then we'll filter for those weekdays. I mean, sorry, for 5 bedroom. Entire home with pool, 5 bedroom. No, no,
Uh,
5 bedroom. Okay,
five.
yeah, let's go back up. We're gonna remove the bed count.
What? Yeah, I'm not sure why that's there.
Yeah, remove this. Okay, and then scroll back up and do entire home and pool. Okay, and then search. Or show homes. Okay, so now I'm looking on the left side. You have 3750. We have 37 for another 5 bedroom. We scroll down the left. 39, 5, 4. Okay. So it's definitely showing you as competitive pricing. Now, we don't know if these people, what I would do if it were my property, I would go look at these people that are available and I would go see if they have the weekend available. If they do have the weekend available, then they're able to charge higher on their weekdays because someone's more than likely to book a longer period of time versus you who's only going to get a weekday booking and you have to be, you're no longer even like really comparing to people with weekends available. You're strictly looking at getting like who, if you think about like who your travelers are going to be that are book only weekdays. It's going to be a lot of more travel, business people or people like locally coming to visit family. So I typically give a pretty heavy discount.
Yeah, we've had a couple of high school teams. We've had a couple of wedding parties. Their wedding parties definitely more weekend kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Which actually, I also want to ask about if we have a wedding party and they sort of invite more people along, and
Mhm.
certainly at least for meals and stuff like that. Is there a way? We're trying to get a handle on that, and trying to control it. So would we add something to our rules like any additional guests need to be approved beforehand or something like that? Or is that going to just put people off?
Um, it is a good idea to know how many people they're bringing. If they're bringing more than your, like if you say that you can have 15 guests and they're bringing 20, they should definitely be asking you if that's okay first.
Yeah, like we recently had a party where there were at least 20 people there for a meal. Now they left, a lot of people left that they didn't leave till midnight, which is another, could be another issue. But for people just visiting the house, not actually staying there, are we allowed to ask about that, or is that a problem?
Are you asking to charge them more?
Well, it's more to kind of know what how many people they're planning on inviting over, kind of thing, you know?
I would say since you have such a large home, add it into your automated messages, like after your new reservation message comes in, and just kind of re-verify, ask them like, okay, great, what are you can always ask them like, what are you coming to town for? How many people are you expecting? Is there anything we can do for you? Make it sound like it's an accommodating thing versus like a, you know, scoping in on what they're doing, to kind of figure that out. And then you can put it in your description that if there's any more than, well, yeah. You can definitely put it in your description like a max guest, only 15 guests allowed in the property. Anything else requires approval. And you can put it in your automated messages too.
Gotcha, yeah.
You just want to warn them prior to booking. That way they're not like blocking days on the calendar to then later find out they can't actually have 30 people at the house, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we need to follow up with a couple of people that are that might have booked already, just to make sure we don't, we're not trying to encourage people to have their actual ceremony or, wedding dinner at the house.
Yeah.
That's not what it's for.
I would be careful because if you do say like wedding groups, if you were to say like wedding parties, bachelorette parties, Airbnb is pretty strict about that and they will um, flag your account because if they think that you're engaging in parties, they're not going to want to cover you for any damages or anything. So they don't promote people doing that.
Yeah, cool. All right, thank you.
Okay. All right, guys. Well, Emily will be here Wednesday, and I'll see you guys again next week. And I'm gonna add Rink Breeze to my um topics list. So, catch you guys later.
All right, take care.
Thanks, Becky.